Permit me to say that I grew up on the streets, on the playground. My father never paid my school fees. Everybody talk about child abuse, girl child abuse. Just as the honorable minister said, nobody is talking about it. Boy child abuse. But I was an abused boy child. But glory be to God today. So we believe that events like this are crucial in shaping the future of our nation. I'd like to express our deepest admiration for the minister's tireless efforts in championing youth development over the years. Sir, dedication and passion have inspired us to partner with your ministry. And we look forward to continued collaboration. Our sponsorship of this event is a testament to our commitment to supporting initiatives that align with our values and mission. We believe that by working together, we can create a brighter future for our youth and our nation. We're excited about the potential for further partnership with the Ministry of Youth and look forward to exploring more opportunities to support youth development initiatives. Thank you to our Honorable Minister and your entire team for this dedication to empowering our youth. We are honored to be part of this journey and we look forward to partnership. And to all the boy-child mentees here today, on this round table dialogue, I hope you learn and get inspired. There's a future ahead of all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please give him a resounding round of applause? Honorable Minister, for the next goodwill, I'd like to welcome from the Girl Child and Youth Reintegration Network, GREEN. It's therefore my very distinct honor to welcome Mr. Samuel Kadiri for goodwill. I welcome you.
Thank you very much. Good morning once again. Our own honorable minister, street minister. Even if anybody stop calling you honorable, I will continue to call you honorable. And even if anybody also stop calling you comrade, I'll keep on calling you comrade. Because you have indeed distinguished yourselves in these two areas. Actually, there is still line between being on and being a comrade. So I want to salute you, sir, for this memorable and historical event today. Permit me to also stand on the here. Sir, thank you because you have laid the foundation. You laid the foundation while you were trying to mentor these boy child children just now. You see, over the times, girl child and youth with the responsibility to advocate for young children and to reintegrate the young heart, because everything begins from the mind. So we felt that the girl child used to be most vulnerable. But in recent time, we discovered that it's even the boy child that is technically more vulnerable. And that is why it is very important that on this day, International Boy Child Day, we have a very important event of such. And I want to thank the partners, House of Destiny, and other partners seated here, and the Ministry for Youth Development for organizing this historical event. For us, it is very important because leadership and governance is very important to any developing society. And the boy child are wired naturally for leadership. And how can they be extinct or distinct? Or how can they achieve these two sides of the coin? Is through mentorship. I want to thank every one of you that have come here. And I want to say it here as well, that indeed there is a need for us to bring this young boy's child into events, into mentoring classes, so that they can also be able to be disciplined, because discipline is the bedrock for good leadership and good governance. They are our tomorrow, and we must invest more in them. Thank you very much, and God bless you. I believe today we are going to be having a very memorable celebration and mentorship from our number one on this table, mentor, the street minister. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Super Action Minister. Honorable Minister, if you permit, there are very important persons who take pride in the pursuance of goodly living amongst both the boy and girl child. And we have very amazing organizations here. It is therefore very pertinent for us to allow them to do good well. It gives me great joy and privilege to welcome from the Policy Innovation Center. I'd like to welcome the executive lead. Let me welcome Dr. Osasoi Darius, welcome. Darius, I beg your pardon.
Thank you so much. Honorable Minister, distinguished permanent secretary, permit me to stand on existing protocols while acknowledging our wonderful mentees that we're celebrating today. We're really honored to be part of this, but not just that, also inspired about the way the ministry is spotlighting the boy child on this very important day. Using our platforms at the Gender and Inclusion Summit, and all the research and program work we're doing across the country, we continue to ensure that we would work closely with the ministry to support and look for leverage points to ensure that we're creating a better society for our boys and our girls. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity, and looking forward to the conversations.
Thank you very much. Sir, why some persons go about preaching betterness? Some do giving. I'd like to welcome from the Malala Funds, the executive lead. Please join us and welcome Nabila Aguila Shibis
Thank you, Honorable Minister. It is such a pleasure to be here. Honorable Minister, Permanent Secretary, DG, other dignitaries here present, directors, and of course our special guests, these young boys. You being here is a testament to the fact that you are leaders already, so we are quite honored to be here to engage with you. Honorable Minister, I'd like to echo the sentiments of other guests here present in thanking you for spotlighting this issue, for leveraging International Day of the Boy Child to bring us together to have a very important conversation about mentorship. As many of you know, I am the Chief Executive at the Malala Fund, where we focus on secondary school education for girls. We want to build a world where all children, and especially out-of-school girls, are able to go to school. So I guess the question some might be asking is, why am I here today, right? So I'm here in my formal capacity, but also as a mentor, as a mother to a vibrant, energetic, young 6-year-old boy, but also because increasingly, as a Nigerian and as somebody who is in the gender space, there's a critical need, as has already been said here, to not leave the boy child behind. To ensure that we are mentoring them, that we are shaping a positive and inclusive mindset, that we are shaping current and future leaders who have the right set of values and who understand the important role that they play as leaders in their households and their communities and in the companies that they will lead and work in. There's a strong recognition that for too long, those in the gender space have focused on girl-child issues where there is and continues to be a strong need at the detriment of not focusing on boys, because of the challenges that they face, but also because boys are critical allies for us as we work toward a more inclusive and a better Nigeria. So I thank you again for having me here, and I look forward to sharing reflections on mentorship with our guests. Thank you.
Thank you very much. by the kind permission of the HM, we'll take one more goodwill before we go to the DG, NYC, and of course, a very amazing permanent secretary. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome Dr. Chukwuemeka Oyimadu from the UN, Women, Feminist Economists. I'd like to welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good day, Honorable Minister. I'm Secretary. Another dignitaries here. Let me stand on the existing protocol. I represent the country representative to Nigerian ECOWAS for UN Women. And UN Women is the UN agency that has the mandate to advance gender equality and the empowerment of women globally as well as in Nigeria. For us, the board chart is very critical to achieving our mandate in Nigeria. We have a very strong belief that both men and young boys play a very significant role in advancing women's rights and women's economic empowerment in Nigeria. Very critical in this is to begin to socialize young boys at a very young age to understand the dynamics, the nature, and the challenges that both genders face in our context. And based on this, UN Women as a UN agency is already exploring several pathways to see how we can integrate both men and young boys into our programmatic interventions, as well around the
For leadership. I'd like to welcome very specially Adesoji MNI. I welcome you to just do a very big video.
Thank you very much. Mine is just to congratulate the Honorable Minister for the good work being done and the shift of focus on the girl child to the boy child. And if you put the two together, the boy child and the girl child population, this is a critical mass that shouldn't be left uncatered for. And what we need to do to take this process further is to develop a strong policy to back up this initiative so that it won't be a once and for all program and left behind undone. So we need a platform, we need a policy in place, a lasting policy, an enduring policy that will further promote the cause of the boy child in the Nigeria polity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, a few days back, you were at the orientation camp of the FCT chapter of the NYC, and it was a very remarkable time with you. The corpers had a very wonderful time. And so we'd like to also thank you, and of course, the DG NYC for this amazing gesture. It's on this note, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I shall request for goodwill the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps to please speak. Brigadier General Ogo Kafiu, to welcome you. Can we please give him a round of applause?
Thank you, Excellency. The convener of this all-important meeting, very dear Honorable Minister of Youth Development from the Ayodele Olawande, the Permanent Secretary, other excellencies present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. When I received the invitation to this gathering and I saw that we're celebrating International Day for the Boy Child, I was like, yes, something like that. Does that exist? Because we are used to hearing Girl Child Day, like the Honorable Minister alluded to earlier, and 20% affirmative action for women and things like that. And that immediately ran me through the statistics we have at the NYSC, and I said that as of today, 54% of my core members as female and 46% as male. So it shows that over time, the educational percentage of females that are graduating from universities, polytechnics, and monotechnics is tilting, and we're having more females getting degrees now than males. And I thought over that, what could be responsible for that? The society expects a lot from the male child, for the boys. They expect strength, they expect responsibilities. They are still to be responsible to themselves and the female gender. And this has over time made a number of male youths to take to other means rather than going to any degree. And so having the Boys Child Day celebrated is, I consider it a welcome development. I want to appreciate the Honourable Minister and the Ministry for that. Today we mark the World Day of the Boy Child, otherwise known as the International Boys Day. And I did a little research and I realized it was founded in 2018 by Dr. Jerome, from a university lecturer from Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. However, I learned that prior to that, the Japanese celebrate something similar to that on 5th May, and it was that Day of Health and Happiness for Boys. I wonder what they do on that day, whether they share candies or things like that. Honorable Minister, once again, I thank you and your ministry for spotlighting the boys this year by celebrating the Boys Day. And I'm pleased and feel highly honored to be in this privileged position to celebrate Boys Day this year with this group of eminent Nigerians. Our society often depicts the male figure as representing leadership, strength, family security, provision, commitment, and confidence. Society expects so much from the boy child, who will grow into a strong male figure and one day head the family and build a better society. The International Day of the Boy Child, which we celebrate today, is dedicated to raising awareness about the unique needs, experiences, and challenges boys face worldwide. This year, I learned that the team is building building self-esteem in boys. Stand up, be heard, be seen. And I'm glad that the ministry is leading in that regard and by building self-esteem in our boys by inviting a number of mentees that come across the country. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for standing up for the boys, even though you are still claiming to be a boy. We disagree. Thank you for giving a voice, because through this initiative, the boys are being heard and they are being seen all around the country. Thank you very much. I charge us to be mentors, role models for our sons, grandsons, and boys in our families and communities. And together, we can help make the world a better place when we build our boys. As we celebrate this year's International Day for the boy child, permit me to remind us that the boy child is equally a child. We should also have soft spot for him and know that he is not his sister's protector or his mother's husband. As we raise our boys to become strong, responsible, committed, and understanding, protective men, husbands, and leaders, let us remember that they, like their female counterparts, have vulnerabilities, weaknesses, and sometimes insecure. We must realize that some not our baby boys and baby girls may never be safe in the long run. Thank you, Honorable Minister, Permanent Secretary, and the entire ministry for celebrating the boys. And to the boys, I charge you here to dream big and shun vices that can destroy your dreams. And study hard to be great in the future. Thank you for this privilege. I congratulate you once again. Happy International Boys Day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Honorable Minister, sir, the next speaker is one you're very conversant with. It's one you know too well. It's one who makes the journey so beautiful and so smooth. So I make bold to say he's the permanent secretary by dint of sheer hard work, and is here with us most importantly. It's therefore my very distinct honor and privilege to request to speak for goodwill and to round off for goodwill. I welcome very especially Olusoyo Olufumi, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Youth Development. I welcome you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, sir. You as a civil servant, and when your principals speak on certain issues, you have to conform. So the minister already established a very, established a protocol when you speak. As a good civil servant, comfortably to sit on that. I'm not standing. Because I'm comfortable. I want to sit on the protocol. So please permit me to sit on the protocol that is established. Once again, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this important Boys Child Mentorship Roundtable for the celebration of the year 2025 International Day for the Boys Child celebration. I am honored to be part of this initiative, which seeks to shape future generations by empowering our boys with values, discipline, and leadership. Someone asked what type of mentorship are we providing? To keep good values, discipline, and leadership in our child, so that they grow old, they become useful to the society. Mentorship is not just guidance, it is a vital tool that builds character and purpose. And as future leaders, boys must be equipped with knowledge and principles needed for personal and national development. At the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, we recognize the unique challenges boys face: academic struggles, mental health issues, peer pressure, and social economic hardship. I'm also sure that you are doing that a lot of young men go into drug addiction, not because they want to, be involved in it, but due to peer pressure. They like to experiment at this stage of their life, and that is why mentoring their well is quite important. So we are committed to providing targeted mentorship and support that nurtures well-rounded, ethical, and visionary young. Today, these boys that are here representing other boys of the school outside, they'll be hearing directly from the radio minister and myself and other distinguished elders here messages we hope will inspire and empower them. And I want to thank the radio minister for youth development, all our partners, sponsors of this program, and all discussants for their support and commitment. With their presence, they are just saying one thing, that together we can build a future where every boy is guided, supported, and empowered to become a positive force in the society. And as you know, the boy child of today is the husband of the girl child that we have been focusing attention on previously. They are the father of tomorrow and they are the leaders of tomorrow. So if they are not waking up, I imagine the type of family we have in the future, where you have a well-educated wife, well-behaved wife, and the husband is opposite. Though such a family cannot stand the test of time. So what we are doing today is just to build our future and to show that in the coming generation we are going to have stable family. When you have stable family, you have a stable nation, and you have progress in the country. So having said that, I want to wish the boys happy celebration, and to all of us, I wish all a productive and enriching session. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Richard, sir, with your kind permission, we'll just take a minute breather for his full presentation. And this is coming from the boy child. I'd like to welcome spoken words performance. Can we please put our hands together for him?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm from Heart Artists. I'm here to perform a spoken word piece titled There is no title. There's no title. As you listen to this piece, may you be blessed. It is tough to be strong. But sometimes it feels like we are prisoners in our own body. But how? How do we tell the world that this man doesn't feel man enough? That this little David who killed Goliath is still dealing with the giants within? For you see, there are 1,000 scars and bruised spirits. For why men slept. The beast, clothed in human skin, came and sowed evil tares. But the sky, we were not asleep. With our eyes wide awake, our body was looted. Dreams was trashed, our hopes was dashed, and was broken. But this is the news that might never make it to the breaking news. This is the headline that might never get an highlight in the spotlight or the highest light until his deadline. This is for today. I found what today. I found what turns heroes into. I found out that 14% to 43% of boys experience at least one trauma. For they're living somewhere in their past, trapped in their own body. That is full-grown male forming macho man. This scared little boy you are dealing boy that can no longer keep him safe. For trauma doesn't come with an age limit. And there is no blueprint for pain. No telling you the day it will burn you. The day it will burn you the most. We will not drown in silence and allow this mindless violence that almost extinguishes the stars in our sky prevail. For you see, there is no safety in a country when the leaders of its tomorrow have been robbed of their tomorrow and left broke. Where a broken boy becomes a broken man. A broken man marries a broken woman. A broken woman bets a broken family. A broken family creates a broken society. A broken society builds a broken nation. So the next time you wonder why the world is full of broken men, no, a child was broken. So the next time you wonder why the chaos, it's because we, the majority, chose silence. So let this poem be a clarion call, an awakening that every child, every boy's life matters. For you see, a place is the people, and let the people define the place. Let the place be. For there is hope for these boys. If I and you can rise up and make this world a better place for these boys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it deserves a befitting round of applause. Minister, I'd like to just beg for just and allow me to introduce you properly, please, before you speak. Thank you, sir. That's all my request. It is my profound pleasure to introduce a visionary leader, a champion of progress, and a stalwart of advocate for the welfare of our great nation. A man of unwavering dedication, unrelenting passion, and unshakable commitment to the advancement of our society. Lady, in every sense of the word. A renowned and a successful administrator and a devoted philanthropist who has left an indelible mark on our nation's landscape. Through his tireless efforts, he has constantly demonstrated a deep understanding of the complexity of our national youth challenges and has profound, innovative solutions to address them. His exemplary leadership, coupled with his unwavering optimism, has inspired countless individuals to strive for excellence. May I therefore request for keynotes. Ladies and gentlemen, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, Honorable Minister, Youth Development. Can we please give a round of applause?
Good morning once again. After the press brief, I think now I can. I need to say I don't know the protocol that the PS was sitting down on before. So since I'm sitting down on the protocol, let me please stand and come up with the protocol again so that you can merge everything together. Don't be angry when civil servants say that they are hungry and they are sitting on the organs. I think we should remove the permanent secretaries because they still count themselves as civil servants. They are sitting on the political position. Those permanent secretaries is a political position because it's the only position that permanent is being put and they still remove them. Let me use the opportunity to welcome him because he's a permanent secretary with time. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Youth Development, the president of our moms and father, those are boys, Abi. They will tell you his name. Or you want to know his name? You want to know his name? And Leadership Training Centers, CLTC. Because I can call her name, she's in my age range. Honorable Risola Abiola. Let me also welcome a great man. I know more a boy, but to represent all the good, bad, and good boys in the office of the president. That is Honorable Dari. That is other, but at least this is our generation. Everybody knows him as Swagger. But it's there, it's the SSA to the president. I have another head. Aside being man, it's also the well-trained. So and there's parties to boats, roads, on the road, which are not able to pass through. God is infinite mercy. Catapult me and is now a DG. Even with all the DG, all the uniform, with all the red eyes, and if you see my picture yesterday, because my eyes are red. So also, even though I did not pass through the rigorous feeling, 3 years sitting down, and the minister is the DG. Permit me to introduce, I won't mention his name too, because it's an elder statesman. Permit me to introduce the DG of NYC, the Brigadier General, and his voice. If you know what Brigadier General is about, you know what I'm talking about. You know the grace God has given me to yap. And when you misbehave to ordinary soldier, not brigadier or not general, not soldier, you know it's all about. Permit me to welcome our brother, our father, our mentor that is receiving the mentees. That's the general, DG of NYC. You know it here. Permit me to welcome your father. Very soon he will retire, but not tire, because he has served in different positions, the state level, he has served in different positions in national zonal level, and he's serving the national level now. For someone to go so far is a father and is a figure in our nation. And to reshaping what we are following now, the citizenship and the leadership training center, which a lot of people never knew that it exists, but with its own visibility and steadfastship, we are here to celebrate a man that very soon is going to be out of our position, and he have done very well. I can tell you very well to reshape that leadership training center. That's the DG of the CLTC. Anytime you see Manuel, you see CLTC, even though we're trying to hijack them. Let me also welcome all the directors. I know the chief of staff is not here, so I'm not going to greet who is not here. Let me welcome the directors of Ministry of Youth Development here present. I will have several partners that are present. I welcome you because of time. But it's good to use your time when you're still alive. So I'm using my time to welcome you very well, so that by the time we call on you again, you will answer us. So I will not say all the directors present. I will mention your name, but if I don't mention your name, that means you are not present physically, maybe spiritually. CEO of the House of Destiny, you're welcome. The doctor from Israel, that name's Israel, and bears part of my name, Ola. You're welcome. The distinguished United guests, you're welcome. And those partners, their name is not given to me because I'm not reading from my head. You are also welcome. I welcome you. This is because you have not dropped much, but I still welcome you. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, let me first talk about gender. A lot of people give definitions to gender, and the definition they give to gender, and that is why anytime, even when a minister or whatever position you have, you are appointing an essay on gender, they believe it should be female, or a girl, or a lady. And that's makes me go to her when she said that she's on the gender, so, girl, child, and all that. Gender is defined as a male sex or a female sex, especially when considering weight. Biological one, or any range of identity that is not corresponding or established ideas of a male and female child. So,
reading this one,
about Bible or in mosques or their fathers and imam tell us about the word of God that we should know ourselves. We did not go back to make research and ask ourselves, is it correct or wrong? But because of the kind of environment we have, where whatever is being now is even more bad now, that whatever anybody sits down in his home and posted on social media is correct. Is as bad as when you say that a gender is only a female child. And I go to him, and that is why most of my keynote is going to be a discussion, because we are here to mentor and mentee. I'm not going to read. The reading note, which the permanent secretary will not be happy with me. He has this reservation about what I'm doing now, because I'm not reading what I wrote. But I've also discovered that if truly we want to mentor people, and if truly we want to mentor the genders, I want to speak to their heads. To be clear, damn, that whatever gender you have, whatever sex you have, you're a gender. And we must start making research about a lot of things. I was so happy because I made same research when I was putting this up myself. And that tells you that when, even though it's older than me, but it's still not in the millennium, but average, we can still balance it. That's the DG of NYC. You will know that there is a think alike in most of the things, probably when we met ourselves and we talked about it. And I can tell you that when I was also making my research, I went back to the NYC and I discovered that majority of those core members, and with my experience, not even the research now, the experience of going to over 29 camps in 29 states, I discovered that when I'm inside the hall and I'm trying to interact with them, most of the time I saw female more than male, not even knowing that the statistics is there. And I discovered that was the problem, because again, we have a lot of organizations, a lot of prayer groups, a lot of that are focused on the female. And a lot of male child does not have the experience needed. And before you started saying that they are this, they are that, a lot of us also does not have the important engagement of mentorship. Part of us that we are not much, the minority of us, probably because of those people that we are attached with, because of the mentees we get, because of the mentors we get. Because the more you mentor, you turn to mentee, you see mentee, you turn to mentor and all that. It's not all of us that we have the opportunity, because somebody like me also, and I'm saying this to the boys and those that are online and those media people, that I have no opportunity. I'm not even from the family he came from, but I have I think it's one man, one wife from my side. But I still don't have the opportunity to be sent to school. Whatever English I'm speaking now, whatever eyes I'm opening now, this time around that we have, that you can stay in your house and earn a lot of money without being doing fraud or whatever, because of the opportunities that have been opened for us as young people. But then you will need to work your ass off. And I'm bold to tell you, because we're in the area of mentoring, to come together to discuss, reflect on how better we can support to uplift our boys. And I'm honored to be part of this initiative because I paid for everything with hard job. There is no job. And that is why when people cry in front of me, it takes me to have extra feeling. They said, okay, you can cry, no problem, I will do. But to cry that you are not able to pay school fees does not enter my head. That's the truth. Some people will say because you have privilege. And that is why I talked about we are hardworking. But you must be smart. You are hardworking. You must look for the connection. I'm hardworking, no doubt about that. But if I have not sit down to be discovered myself, my hardworking can be of those that at the end of the day become whatever it is today. There is no hard job. People say, don't say it again. I say, why? It is not a hidden thing. Those people that we did it together, they were there. I had a post on my Facebook, not quite long, I think around last year. And somebody went there to go and comment that, minister, how? And this boy still carrying my father's dead body not quite long as an undertaker, dancing with it. And I was there. Some people were trying to abuse the person. I need to go there and go and comment that you don't need to abuse. He's saying the truth. Because there is no job I've never done in my life. No job. Bring out the job. I remember the day we used to dig with hand, not with excavating the soil in this filling station so that they can put tanks. I can count more than 10 filling stations that we did that in my area in Akure. I can tell you categorically that when I was, and all this work, I'm not doing all this work because I want to buy clothes. Because then I can wear one cloth for 6 months, no problem. If you see my picture, then you will still know that there's problem. And I have those pictures, and I won't delete it from the social platforms. I remember the day that a man owed me money. I was in 400 level second semester, and I need to pay school fees. I have no money to pay the school fees. And that was what introduced me to go and start working. And I tell the person that, see, I'm going to work here. I don't know how I'm going to do the work, but I'm going to work here. Just give me the money first, just because I want to go to school. I'm a boy child. And there's nobody that you can easily run to. That is why up to now, it still draw me back to ask people for money. And I went to go and beg the man that I want to be working in your mortuary. Like play, I started working in Benin as a mortuary attendant. Like play, I then went back to my state. And I met them there and I started working there. Even the man, until I introduced myself to the man now, the man does not know me again because I'm now, money is good though. And I asked myself, how long? Probably, if I've not really, because there's no associations, because if I've not really go beyond that, I may not have the opportunity. That is why it is essential that we know the difference between how the ministry can play or they want to play. We must focus on how to build ourselves. And I remember most of the time then, it's not that I don't have the opportunity to find myself in different forms and different bad organization, courtesy, everything. And when people look at my list, they say you smoke before. I said I've never smoked in my life. And they asked me how, because everybody around me smokes, if not all. Because I was walking around people that, you know, nobody's focusing on us. And that is why I'm calling on all organizations that the Ministry of Youth is open for both gender, for us to partner together, for us to be committed, for us to empower them mentally in the generation that we are now. For us to know that the Renew Hope agenda is not all about construction, but also construct our brain from the childhood. That there's a lot of ways we can put things together and make sure that the boy child is very important component in our society. And I love what the point, and that is why I'm picking up from every angle of how people have talked, from what they have said, and that takes me to get the small boy like me that just acted here. And it talks about the importance of child in our society. All those gender girls that a lot of organizations are focusing on are going to marry to a boy that we are not focusing on. And no matter education, no matter the potentials education in our society that you give to the girl child, no matter the trainings, no matter the mentees, no matter the mentors, don't forget, it's like they are focusing on a teacher. And that is why I like the DG now. The DG of NYC will tell you that the NYC core members are customers. And it's correct. They left the teaching life from the primary school to the secondary school. They graduated to the professors and lecturers. And after professors and lecturers, and the government wants to give them another life of 1 year compulsory, according to them, serving their father's land, which we are trying to change their head now that you're serving yourself. And you turn them to teacher again. No, it's not correct. So this is a platform for us to guide, to ensure that responsibility, collective responsibility, is to ensure that we guide both gender, celebrate the boy's child, so that they will know that they are people, so that they will know that they are part of it. Fine, we have little risk, but is it every one of us, or someone like me, or someone sitting down beside me, that will pass through those risks if we are not mentored well? I have the opportunity today to be the chairman of NRTW. Maybe if I've worked hard and be smart and decided not to go to school, because I also served as a conductor just to pay for JAM at Ikiri in Osun State. I implore you that let us start playing a mentoring role, a critical mentoring role. And that is why what the ministry has been known for before, we want to lay a precedent that we change for life, that it is not about job creations. The government is doing everything possible best to create an enable environment for people to thrive, for the young people to thrive. The agenda of the Renew Hope agenda is to give an opportunity, and the president is doing it, and that is why the president will tell you, and that is why this government will tell you, because the president that is on the leading part, and the time is not yet before we start talking, that see, the country called Nigeria for 40 years, over 40 years, have been toying a part. And that is why it's difficult. And that is why we must go back to start mentoring this boy's child now. That is time that we must empower the organizations like Man O' War. That is time that we must look back to the uniform organizations to go back to those primary schools and secondary schools. That is why we must concentrate on counseling from the roots. There is nothing, the boy said it, there is nothing you build from nothing.
and you want to make it something, it will never work. Positive roles and mentors can inspire, motivate, guide them in their lives. Today is our day as boys. The most important thing is to invest in ourselves because we are boys. And don't forget that it is part of the creation of earth that God created Adams in his own image. Don't forget that the ladies, the reason why it's also like that is because they are the improved general version of the human creation. So they have a tenacity even when they were created, as they are first, this thing that they were created, they have the tenacity to be on us. And that is why you must invest positively in yourself. The ministry is bringing up this initiative, partnering with everybody. Everybody is opened for us to help our boys shine also, to build confidence, reach out to full potentials of what they can be. And I tell you, my great boy shines in your academics, your social expressions, the boy guardians and support to overcome the challenges and grow as confidence, as capable individual. Boldness, confidence, the spirit that knows, that tells you and knows the importance of how you can be. If you can stand in front of us and most of the people that are also online with us, if you can stand in front of us today and put all these your feelings, shares your experience that we're sharing with you, look forward to find a solution that will benefit our boys in our society. The destiny is in your hands. And let me also thank those that have collaborated to make this happen. And I know by next year, we are going larger than this. Probably we will invite you to one of the NYC camps. All the boys, the DG will just give us one place. We just go there instead of Ministry of Youth. And this is the first time we are having this anyway. And this is just to tell you that we are setting the space for a lot of people. And we want collaboration. And I thank the House of Destiny for sponsoring this, for being a major sponsors of this. And the collaboration of everybody, everyone, the doctors and everybody to make this happen. And I'm so much happy for your efforts to be part of this, to create impact. The last message for you, looking at all of us, even if you don't look at the old ones, look at my eyes and tell yourself that you can be whatever you want to become in life. With your hard working, graduated to smartness, and the connection. Your destiny can go a long way, even though if you are rats. Your destiny is all over everywhere. I thank you very much for being part of this. And I know with the help of the Ministry of Youth Development, very soon it's going to be a general campaign from state to state about boy child. And I think from now too, the major sponsors of gender equality, being tagged as girls' gender equality, will continue with what they are doing, inclusivity in everything. In as much we are asking for the percentage for the people in governance, which the president have superseded that, no government has done that before, to have large numbers of female in government. They not be girls, but they turn from girls to ladies, from lady to women. But some of them are still ladies because we have many of them in their younger age. We plead that organizations attached to girl child, that is gender will now be boy and girl child, so that we can train and build those boys that wants to get married to those girls.
Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and rewarding engagement. God bless all of you. God bless the President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that gave this opportunity, this platform to all of us, both the senior special assistants, the DGs, the permanent secretary, and my humble self. And the President that has been projecting Nigeria, God bless him for projecting Nigeria in a good shape. The President has said that no boy should go out of school anymore. Introducing the initiative of student loan scheme. And I've made this several times and I will continue saying it. It only takes a visionary leader to put up such initiative. And it tells you that it had a vision for this country. And the vision is that no guy, no child, no student go out of school. The student must be able to pay the loan back. And how will he pay the loan back? He can only pay the loan back when he has a job. And that is why everything is being put in place for you to get out of the school, graduate from the school, and get a good job. And the good job can come when an enable environment is being provided. The time is not yet for the other ones. When it is time, we'll speak about it. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless you.
Please, I urge all of you to rise and give a resounding round of applause to the Honorable Minister Youth Development. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we all need to one more time applaud the very amazing gesture of the Honorable Minister. I've never been shy of speaking the truth, speaking to your minds. If there are those days, it will just end with press briefing, but it's always constantly engaging your mind. One more time, can we again give another round of applause for the Honorable Minister? Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, sir, our theme for this conversation is grooming the boy child and leveraging mentorship for leadership and governance. Therefore, at this time, I'll most respectfully hand over the microphone to the moderator who takes over for the roundtable session and dialogue. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, he's a well-spoken gentleman, a very sound mind. I'd like to welcome David Okoye-Mioke, who will moderate this session of dialogue. Thank you very much. Can we please give a round of applause?
Honorable Minister, a senior boy in the room, and all the senior boys in the room. Ladies, would you do me well, help me clap and give a round of applause for all the men, all the senior boys, all the senior boys.
You will ask, I just don't do done.
Visionary leaders
So if you don't mind, I don't know if you have an extra mic without wasting time. The young boys who sometimes marry broken girls, and sometimes they marry even the good girls, and that gives back to broken society, and that leads to broken nation. And maybe this is the story of a lot of countries across the continent of Africa today. And I hope that we can look forward from here what the future of our countries and our continent is going to be. Permit me to hand over the mic to Honorable Risola Abiola because it's mentor-mentee conversation. I'll still come to the big boys and the single boys, but I want to speak to the women. It's incredible to see that women are in the room having conversation about boys. But before I go on, I want all the women this day, because we have done this for the longest. Let all the boys sit down. Let all the boys not clap. We've done this for the longest because we had to give standing ovation and clapping ovation for the boy, for the girl child. So all the women in this place, let me to celebrate these amazing boys. Just the women alone. Just come on now. If it's your own now, everyone's like, can you see what is going on in this place? I'm making it louder, women. Celebrate this our boys. Right? We have talked so much. The Honorable Special Assistant to the President of Citizenship and Leadership, we've spoken so much about birthing the next generation of leaders for our country. Speaking from your office to these amazing boys, and of course, speaking to their future and their minds. And some of them have been in this room because I believe that being here today is not just an event. Now, sometimes we get the opportunity for God or people to model possibilities to you. So being in this room today could have modeled the possibility of being called an SSA to the President someday, or being called the Honorable Minister or Permanent Secretary or the General someday. What can these boys begin to do, or what programs does the current administration have in place for these young people to start emerging as leaders, as people who can make important and significant contribution to national development, even from their age? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And firstly, I would want to commend the Honorable Minister for Youth Development and the entire ministry for putting this event together, and also the SC on Gender to the Minister, and also wish our mentees happy International Day of the Boy Child. Regarding leadership, I would want to say that leadership, as far as I'm concerned, is a seed that God has placed in every single one of us. And when they say leadership, the first thing that might come to mind is being president of a country or head of a multinational organization. But I want you to know that leadership begins from within your own space. It starts from within your own home. It starts from within your friendship circle. It starts from within your school. During your introduction, I learned that many of you are at different stages of development. I know that there's some of you who are undergraduates, some who are in secondary school as well. And leadership is something that you begin to develop from this point onwards within your different spheres of influence, like I said earlier. How to develop your leadership capabilities: you have to be confident. You have to recognize the talents that you have within you. Growing up, I realized that I like to write. I was told that I could speak decently as well. So I began to seek opportunities that would help me capitalize on those strengths, on those talents. And I would like to encourage you as well to do the same. I would also like to encourage you to understand that this country that we all have, that we all call home, requires the talents and the contributions of young men like yourselves, of young people like you. And to be minister someday, to be SSA someday, you don't even have to be any of those things. It doesn't necessarily have to be politics, but you have to be active citizens. You have to work to develop yourselves. You have to work to strengthen yourselves as well. So I want to encourage you to invest significantly in self-development. You're in school now. Please take your studies very seriously. How well you're able to do with your studies now will help with opening opportunities to the future, and it will help greatly in building your confidence. This stage that you're in life, please take every opportunity opportunities to influence your community positively. I know a major challenge that boys have is that of peer pressure. And I want you to understand that the most important thing in life right now is not whether or not your friends think you're cool. It's not whether or not you're doing what everybody else is doing. It's about you doing what is best for you and that will equip you to be a good citizen that can positively impact the trajectory of this country's history in future. Now, coming back to the question of programs that we have in the administration, I would want to say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a leader who truly loves young people. We call him the city boy. That was a moniker that we gave him during the campaign period. Part of what he has done is to introduce avenues like the National Youth Confab to allow for youth inclusion and youth voices to be heard within this administration, to chart a path forward for us as a country to contribute to national development as young people. And for those in university, very soon, by God's grace, when you're done, there's the NYSC scheme that is waiting to receive you, to also help you in your quest to not only serve Nigeria, but to also serve yourselves, to develop yourselves, to contribute to our communities. There are also initiatives by the ministry. There's a National Youth Internship Program that is aimed at helping our young people who are out of the tertiary education system to build capacity and to gain work experience. All of these are part of efforts to develop your leadership capabilities. We have the Citizenship and Leadership Training Center. The DG is right here. And CLTC is focused on building the man as part of building the nation. So I would also want to encourage you to look up CLTC and see any programs that you can sign up for. And then finally, because I know I'm about to run out of time, I would like to remind you that this country is for all of us. There is a lot that you can offer Nigeria. I want you to reach within yourselves, identify that talent that can help to propel this country to greater heights, and that would be the way that you also contribute to the path of nation building. Thank you.
Thank you. There is only applause. Did you get that? I hope you got that. I will ask questions after now, right? Dr. Chukwemeka, it's nice to see you on this platform yet again. Of course, it's one of our friends and partner at the World Trade Center. Dr. Chukwemeka, I mean, the world is global now. Of course, in the trade space, we're talking about re-globalization, and of course, maybe bringing the world together and having more free movement of goods and persons across the world. A lot of these young people are nurturing international and global vision. Am I correct, young boys? Is that correct? Am I speaking your mind?
Yes,
if I'm not speaking your mind, please call me back, right? A lot of them are nurturing global and international vision that transcends border. And I know at UN Women, you have access to international space. What would you advise them to actually start doing at these stages of their lives? I remember that the current National Youth, the All Progressives Party, Dio Israel, started his journey as a change maker in UN, as I think it was about 11 or 12 at the time. National Global Development, great. What programs, how do you think these young men can start positioning themselves? What capacity do they need to start building? What programs do you have at United Nations level that can encourage them, or that can start exposing them to some of these opportunities? And of course, they can also start early to start,
throughout my academic career. To answer your question directly, you must not be at wherever you find yourself, in church, in the mosques, in your communities, in your local areas, you must try and find somebody within that space that can mentor you. Let me also state that it's not only what your mentor will give to you, it's also what you will give to your mentor. I say this because in some of our programs that we have at Real Living, where we mentor young girls, some of the mentors come back to tell us that there is what we call mentor fatigue. They get tired. They get tired because sometimes it is really difficult to mentor people. So what I will also say is that when you do find a mentor, in whatever space you find yourself, and you do find that mentor, it's also good that you bring.
The mic is working. You can use the mic. Yeah.
It's also good that you bring some form of value to that mentor. So, for example, I had a mentor who mentored me through the academic. So he was a lecturer. He mentored me to become a lecturer also. But then I was able to do some preliminary research for him. He wants to go for a conference. So, Emeka, can you do this for me? Do this, do this. Even though I don't do it very well, at the end of the day, he comes back and says, okay, you didn't do this very well. This is how to do it very well. So if you find yourself where you have a mentor, it's also important that you bring some form of value to that mentor so that it reduces the mentor fatigue. Let me also state here, at the risk of being a devil's advocate, with respect to the general theme of why we are here today, and I know we are talking about boys' mentorship. It is very, very important. But in relative to girls' mentorship, they are actually complementary and not a zero sum. We can't say because we want to focus on boys' mentorship, we should neglect the girl child mentorship. In our society, it is the complementarity between both genders that actually brings the kind of change we want in our society. So we must put that in context so that we don't get it very wrong. The reason why agencies like mine was created was because of how far back the girl child is, as well as women. Till today, the representation of women in parliament are
Want things to get better.
To a young boy who is at the end of the road, dropped out of school, his parents are distraught, society, people are disappointed. And most of the time, you find out that these boys, one of the first things they will say to you is, when I had those struggles, I had no one to speak to. And that ties into the theme for today, which is really bringing boys to that place where you can stand up with the self-esteem and agency you need to speak out when you have a need or when you really feel that you're hurting inside. And one of the first things we used to do with the boys was to develop a treatment plan. And I know that you are wonderful boys on the way to success, but you can also develop like a life plan. Where do I want to be in the next 10 years? What are the things, what are the big, some of the things you're learning today that can help me to put my role model? Something wrong with the person I'm currently looking up to. So for example, when we have that exercise at the center, we get boys to really write down what sort of skills do I want to have? Who do I want to look up to? Where do I want to be? And then we get them to draw. And by painting that image of themselves, when we admit them into the center, we make them to put it on the wall. And every morning after their morning exercise and routines, they have to go to that like vision board and read what the future caller or Adeyemi or whoever it is they want to be. So I want to urge you today, it's not enough to just listen to all the beautiful things we've said and go home. Go home and develop a vision board. Where do you want to be in the next 10 years? As we've heard from the Honorable Minister, there were so many intersections in his journey, but he had the driving force for what he wanted to do. And when you do that, you will be able to begin to reflect on your needs and speak to all the mentors in your space that can help you achieve that. And then finally, from the policy angle, one of the things we're doing to them at this year's Gender and Inclusion Summit, incidentally, is also spotlighting boys. And we're going to be having a lot of policy conversations that will happen at that summit, and we'll bring the recommendations back to the Ministry of Youth. So exciting.
No, maybe they can hear the video, they can see the video. Technical guys, please help us to confirm that the guys online can hear us. They can hear us, but they can't see us. Please confirm. Please, maybe we can do that in the chat room, please. Thank you. Awesome. I'm coming to the senior boys. I'm coming because you've seen some of you are boomers or pre-boomers. Then of course we are here as millennials. There are the post-millennials. We have the Gen Z. I think Gen Z don't finish now. We have Gen Alpha, right? Gen Alpha is also rounding off, and something that is very common across all generations is the failure of most of the fathers in your generation because they didn't know better. And just as the young man, it is my MVP today, the young man that gave the spoken word. I owe him a gift before he goes. I definitely do owe him a gift. Because I hope he's still here. Incredible young man. One of the things he said, which is a fact, is that we keep replicating our kindness, except for a few who decide to be different and take a different path. But if you don't know better, and thanks to God for our religious organization that helped us people like us to shape, a different idea about leadership, about parenting, about being a husband. And if you look at most of these young people, some of them are a product of some people online. They're a product of failed parenting, fatherly or family. As a father or as a grandfather, if my guesses are right, I guess right, I've been good. What do you think? What would you say? Maybe we first pause an apology first, all right? Then, what would you say from your generation? How can we correct that thing or that domino effect of wrong that we have carried from generation to generation? And what can these young people start doing? To say to these young boys who have great futures ahead of them, but they have monsters at home who maybe pay their school fees but stand in the ways of their success or progress or character development as they pursue their vision in life.
Thank you very much. Let me, as you have said, a father or a mother pay the child's school fees. It's like playing about 10 or 20% of the expected role of parenthood. I have my own experience too. My mom and my dad were primary school teachers. My father was a grade 2 teacher, and his dream for me was to be an NCE teacher. Nothing beyond that. But within the neighborhood I was staying, that competition was there then. And it's about who is the best in education. Are you with me? Yes. Who is the best in education? So right from that age, we cultivated the habit of searching for a mentor. I was to go to Ibadan Grammar School as a day student. But I told my father at that tender age that I want to be in a boarding house. So I chose to attend a mission school with boarding facilities. So the role parents are doing now, you see a father, a mother leaving the house in the early hours of the day, not coming back until the late hours of the day, and throwing the challenge of bringing up the children, maybe to the teachers in school, forgetting that the teachers too are parents who have their responsibilities of taking care of their own parents too. And the period of learning in formal education schools is from a period of maybe 8 o'clock to 2 p.m. What happens after 2 p.m.? When the children are home,
and the parents are not around. Now, the major challenge we have now, which I feel strongly, is that our focus should not be
of fireworks because it's not good. I reject another. Afternoon.
Hello.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, Mr. Steven.
Mr. Stephen, good to hear from you. Welcome. Please go ahead.
So we're talking about tolerance, perseverance. Are we looking at the difference now?
How do you mean?
If you are talking about the difference, I think there's a little bit of difference between tolerance and perseverance.
wà ń sìn ó tọ́nà
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o.
oníkálukú àti máa gbalẹ̀ ẹ̀ lọ títí sẹ́gun nípa máa gbalẹ̀ ẹ̀ lọ ojú àmọ́ olókùn náà ti máa wálẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o.
Oluwadamola. Achulachuku Adibe, please. And behind Adibe, Adebusi Olamide, on behalf of, behind Abide. Emmanuel Chukwubike should stand by. Fair Dominion, be on standby. Daniel David Chigoze, please join the queue. Prince Eddie, please join the queue. Joshua Daly, please. Joshua Daly Matthew, please join the queue. Omachi should also join the queue. Please, Diane, please come forward.
Please, Diane. Daniel, no. Okay. Daniel.
And David, please step forward. And afterwards, Joshua Daly Matthew, Ezekiel, please, would you nicely step forward? Ezekiel, receiving for Ezekiel. We must pay special thank you to the Honorable Minister, Youth Development, who's been a fine gentleman, that's been here with us almost all through. We'd like to thank the Permanent Secretary. Let me give special thank you to all our supporters and sponsors, those who came through in a way or the other. We'd like to thank our resource persons and thank you very much. Over first.